can you have a line across your forehead that causes a subdural hematoma and follow the state's theory that the baby was shaking and not hesitate? Somebody tell me where that line came from. I haven't heard it yet. Which makes me think about the coroner's evidence. I call him the coroner, the forensic pathologist, Dr. Hart. I'm not saying that he's incorrect about the injuries. I'm saying he's a doctor and not a detective. And I don't care what he thinks about the floorboard or where it is. Just tell us what happened. She's got a subdural hematoma. There's a line across her forehead. There's a broken collarbone. There's bruising on the ribs. There's spinal injuries. Thank you. Be careful of the CSI effect. Everybody knows CSI. They swept the nation. Everybody's watching CSI. And it's Hollywood. It's big budget Hollywood. I really haven't watched that much. I've seen it a few times. Big graphics a few times. They got, you go inside the body and the head, and the camera takes you all through the blood vessels. And that's great. That's fine and dandy. When you have $1 billion budget and some Hollywood writers have the endings the same every time. Through our science, we have discovered that it had to happen this way. And then they always go and approach the person and they tell him, we found retinal hemorrhaging, and he's, oh, I confess, I'm running. You can't catch me. Here we are in reality. This is York County, South Carolina. CSI, football injuries, I didn't take into account that. Are we supposed to convict somebody off of that?
I can't pick my daughter up and shake her or nothing, because I ain't no mean parent. I ain't no mean person.
They didn't start talking about a shaken baby till they got back to the Rock Hill Police Department after they did this. He's talking about, I couldn't shake my baby. You see, the reason why he was saying all this falling off the bed and why he's telling them there that the neck was all wobbly, because he knew that the cause of death was going to have something to do with her neck. That's what he thought. And why would he think that? Why would he think that she might have snapped her neck? That might be why she died, because it wasn't. She didn't die from a broken neck. Why did he think that? Because he was the one standing there watching her head whip back and forth and back, and she's only 9 pounds, and her head is going back and forth, and inside of her head, her brain is bouncing back and forth against the walls of her skull. You can't see any of those injuries on the outside. That's why it's called a subdural hematoma. Inside, he knew that, but he's watching her head whip back and forth, and he's watching her neck, and then her neck probably was wobbly after that. But he's thinking that must be what killed her. This is a tragedy. The world will never get to know Katie's Evans. And she died a horrible and long death there in that room. She died in the hands of a man who was obligated by the very laws of nature to protect and nourish and care for her. She died at the hands of a man who valued his own interests above hers, who spent hours with her in that room that night, listening to her cry, frustrated, angry, until he finally lost his